In this tutorial, I'm going to teach you the basic things you need to know about RDDs. You will learn how to create an RDD, how to apply a simple map function, how to convert an RDD to a data frame and back to RDD. In future videos I will show you more, so please subscribe for more. RDD stands for Resilient Distributed Dataset. RDDs represents an immutable, partitioned collection of elements that can be operated on in parallel on different physical servers, also called nodes in a cluster. Immutable means that the data is read only, you can't change it. If a node fails, Spark can finish the job with current nodes without losing any data. RDD and data frames are lazily evaluated. This means that first, you define what transformations to apply, then you apply the transformations you defined. PySpark will remember these transformations, and then when you want to apply these transformations, all will apply one by one in sequence, with the exception of async RDD actions or using threads. I will start by creating a new JupyterLab notebook. Let's create an RDD. The first thing a Spark program must do is to create a Spark context object. This is how you communicate to Spark how to access the cluster. But Spark context needs a Spark configuration object, so let's start by creating the Spark conf. First, I will import Spark conf and Spark context. From PySpark, import Spark context and Spark conf. I will also import the Spark session. From PySpark.sql, import Spark session. This method sets the name for your application to show on the UI cluster. Add whatever you want. I will just put lesson 3 here. .setMaster. This method accepts Spark, Mesos or Yarn cluster URL, or if you want to use this on your computer you can use local. You can specify how many cores you can use. Next I will create the context, sc equals Spark context, and add the conference as a parameter. If you need to create an empty RDD, empty RDD equals sc.empty RDD. Just like we did in the previous lesson, let's create a list of lists. I will copy-paste it so that I speed up the things, but feel free to put there what you want. In order to create an RDD from a list, we have to use the parallelize method. sc equals sc.parallelize of data. If you want to get the first row from the RDD, you can use the method first. If you want to get all, you can use the collect method, as you did for data frames. RDD.collect. If you collect all on a local computer, most of the time you won't have any issues, but if you want to collect all the data from the cloud, you might not have enough resources to collect it all, so pay attention to what you are doing. Next, I will show you how to apply a function to an RDD to filter it. RDD equals RDD.mapOf. Let's create a function called setLastColumn to true. This function will have a parameter. I will call it an item, but you can call it however you want. So, I want to change the last item. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the last item has the index 4. Item of 4 equals true. So this function will get each item from a list, and change the last element to true, for each row. Again, to collect all, I will use collect. Oh, I forgot to return the item. But this is good because you can see what happens if you don't. If you think about it makes sense, the map function iterates through each line, it is modifying and is returning a new line. RDDs are just like data frames, read-only. When you modify, it is returning a new copy. That's why you need to assign it again to RDD, because you get a new copy. So now if you want to convert the RDD to a data frame, you have to get the Spark session. Spark equals Spark session of SC. df equals RDD dot to df. Now that we have a data frame, you can run the show method. The show method does not work with RDD. To df method is a monkey patch. This means that df will start with the Spark session configured from RDD. It's simply the dynamic replacement of attributes at runtime. If you want to convert it back to RDD, you can access the RDD attribute. So if I call the first method, you will see the first row. But as you can see, it is based on the data frame we created. So if you need the data frame, call the df_else_df.rdd. If you want to convert it back, you can call the to_df again. Keep in mind that the show method does not work with RDDs, but only with data frames. Next lesson we will focus on how to load CSV data frames and how to write them to disk, including how to load multiple partitions and how to repartition the CSV files. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please share and subscribe. If you want, you can become my Patreon and you will gain access to tutorial files and more.